Ryan Hensley yesterday said, Grant, if you get Jed York, please ask him about the thing he said 10 years ago, where that was right after he fired Jim Harbaugh. He said, we don't raise NFC championship banners around here. We raise Super Bowl banners. And if we failed to deliver that, I expect you to hold me directly responsible and accountable. He said that 10 years ago. And then a few months ago, he said, the season would have been a success even if we had lost the NFC championship. So Ryan asked me to ask Jed, which I did. Can you explain your shift in thinking? And to Jed's credit, he dove right in. He said, absolutely. I realized that it's nothing to be ashamed of when you have a successful season. I think that was a direct quote. And he went on and on and on to explain about how there's nothing to be ashamed of when you finish second, and that it just means you got to keep working, and that, sure, Eddie DeBartolo got really upset when he wouldn't win it all, but Eddie didn't have a salary cap, except for 1994 when he won Super Bowl with a salary cap. But most of the time he didn't have a salary cap, and he had the best quarterback in the league, and he had all these advantages that Jed can't have. And given the constraints that hold Jed back from being great, really they're doing everything and more that you could expect them from. And he's really proud.
And so what he's saying is, even if you come in second, if you gave it a great effort, that's a good thing.
Right. Because they came in second, but they lost to Patrick Mahomes, who's the best quarterback. So really the Niners are number one. They're the best organization in football. They just keep losing to the best quarterback because that position's so important. But really, they're the best organization in football.
So what I have to say very clearly, if you accept being second, you'll always be second. That's what I think. If in your framework you say second is good, then you'll be second.
I kind of like this.
Yeah, kind of like
it. Not too bad.
It's, it would be nice to be first, but not everybody can be first. No. So we'll take second, then you'll be second. If you said we'll take third, then you'll be third. You're predicting where you're going to be. Yeah. Can you imagine Vince Lombardi's saying second is okay? His brains would have come out his ears. What you're supposed to do in football is win the Super Bowl.
Right.
That's what it's about. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to win the Super Bowl. And what he should have said, as opposed to I accept being second, was, you know what? Until we're first and win the Super Bowl, we're unfinished business. We're here to win the Super Bowl. We believe we can. We've come up short. We don't want to come up short. We're going to win it next season. That's a lot stronger statement than saying, yeah, I've grown, I've matured. I live in California now, and it's about feelings. Yeah. It's about my feelings. And my feelings are, I don't want my feelings hurt if we come in second. I'm still a nice man. It's still a good thing. Baloney. Come in first. Aim for first. Accept nothing else.
Yeah, it's like he tried to frame it as wisdom. Like, well, as a young man, you're a black and white thinker. You don't really understand. But as you get older, you realize, really, why should you be upset when you were almost the best team in the league?
Yeah. Bill Walsh would have been upset. Eddie would have been upset.
Eddie would have been upset.
Eddie would have made changes.
It's a missed opportunity.
Yeah. And there's nothing else but winning.
Yeah. Right. And now you've lost the Super Bowl 3 times, Jed. 3. And it is like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's good enough for you. And that's your limit.
And we're supposed to empathize with him, that he's learned wisdom, that in life there's more than coming in first. Maybe in your personal life, not on a football field. Now your business is doing well, but that's not what fans I care about. I don't care about your business. I care about how good are you.
And it's like, what has he learned the last 10 years? Has he learned how to win a championship? No. What he's learned is how to rationalize not winning a championship.
I love it.
Right?
That's beautiful.
He's like 10 years ago, like when I first lost the Super Bowl, it really hurt. But now I've lost 3 of them. And I understand I could lose more. And it's not the end of the world. We keep making money. You know what I mean? Like now I'm in my mid-40s and I understand there's profits, there's all kind of stuff. And, if we happen to All he's learned about a Super Bowl is that maybe if they keep plugging away and doing what they're doing, maybe they'll win one eventually. But he has no more insight in what it takes. All of his insight is how his uncle won them, all the advantages they had in the 80s, all the disadvantages they have now, all the things that are out of his control. Like, he could give you excuses for days. But when it's time to be, all right, Kyle, Jed, what do you know about winning a championship that you didn't know back then? Nothing.
No, he learns it's not as important as it was then. Yeah, I make a lot of money. I have a good life. Yeah, and now I'm running the show. Now I'm running the show.
Right. Now I just got promoted, and he frames it like people who are so focused on the bottom line are like a lower form of life. Like, oh, you haven't really evolved a Homo sapien yet, have you? So you would say that without your opposable thumbs, huh? Jeez. Yaz Williams says, sounds like they are ready to pay Brock next year. Yeah, it's another thing Jed said. It's like, there's going to be a negotiation. And Jed basically said, yeah, we're almost certainly going to be paying Brock Purdy a crazy amount of money. Well, good. You just made John Lynch's job a lot easier.
Also, hold on. Let's be real clear. Brock Purdy is a lot more important to that team than Brandon Ayuk.
True. Yeah. Caesar says, Kyle, please pay attention to any possible rule changes while at this.
Take notes. Bring index cards. Bring index cards. We're counting on you. Bring a little recorder.
Wow. These jokes won't go away. Anoop says, are we still allowed to ask questions about Super Bowl 58? Sure. Why didn't Kyle call screen passes to offset 5, 6, and 7-man blitzes on every pivotal third down? Because he's a genius. Anoop. Haven't you figured it out? This team is the best team in the NFL minus the ones that have won championships. All those, the Niners are the next one. I think they deserve something.
I disagree. They're better than the teams who've won championships.
It's true.
No, you got it wrong. They didn't win championships, but they're better.
Yeah. If you really know football, like middlebrow people judge teams based on the championship, right? Real low IQ people. But if you're smart and you know the sport, you understand that it's the team that's winning in the second half of the Super Bowl, and then what happens at the end doesn't really matter.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Jorgen 1990 says he called successful a season without a Lombardi. Mentality is in the bin. Dad, can you imagine if Al Davis were alive and he could react to what Jed York said? What do you mean success? What are you talking about?
You got to dominate. You got to dominate.
Remember when was it Tom Cable was the head coach, and he finished 8-8, and someone asked him, "How do you feel about finishing 8-8?" And he said, "Great. We're not losers." I think Al fired him that week. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, we're not losers.
Yes, we're
not losers. He said we're not losers anymore. Yeah,
not losers anymore. First of all, I'm not a loser. Second of all, you're a loser. 8-8, buddy. Yes, Williamson's Super Bowl loss was a clerical error.
Absolutely, it was a clerical error.
Clerical error.